Today I want to talk to you about the 10 accessories that are the building blocks if you want to achieve that effortless, laid-back Parisian French girl style. And we're not going to be talking about the obvious, the cliche here. I'm not going to be discussing berets. I'm not even going to be talking about little foulards or scarves, even though I am very partial to one of those. We're going to be going with some more understated, some more underappreciated accessories that I really think French women, Parisian women nail when it comes to their accessories, and is one of the many reasons, one of the key reasons why their look is so distinctive, so recognizable, and so undeniably chic. Now, whether you're just starting out building your French girl capsule wardrobe or you want to elevate what you already have, I think the first accessory you want to get your hands on is a really beautiful, understated, but gorgeous belt that you can wear with all of your different outfits. Jeans and a shirt is such a French girl classic, but a simple dress, skirt and a top as well works really well in summer. And you want just one belt in your arsenal that can pair with all of those different combinations. The belt that I recommend nowadays is the Adele belt or any of the belts from Favette, particularly if you have one of their bags or maybe you have one of their bags on your wish list. A belt could be a great, more affordable way to start out with the brand. I absolutely have been loving this belt since I got it a couple of months ago now, even more so because it goes perfectly with my Adele bags. I have a couple of different Adele bags and I've been really enjoying wearing them when I'm wearing the Adele belt. Now this comes in a few different colors. There's a black, there's a chocolate brown, and I have the camel brown in the, I think this is the lizard effect leather. There's also a couple of different options, and it has the gorgeous gold plated pansy flowers as the clasp, which I think is so beautiful, so much more understated and chic and Parisian feeling compared to a big chunky logo belt or something quite brash that is very branded. I think the flower detail is so much more sophisticated than a big ugly logo that is just like a walking billboard, one that you're probably going to get bored of within a couple of years. Is probably going to go out of style as the brands, the popularity of these brands kind of wax and wane, whereas something like this is timeless, it's gorgeous, it's feminine as well. I feel like belts can often run quite masculine, whereas this with the flowers definitely has a very feminine, pretty edge to it, which I feel like a lot of Parisian style also does, especially in the summer. So I could not recommend Favette belts enough. Definitely go and check them out. I will show you what this one looks like styled today. I'm wearing a very French girl outfit for this video with my rouge cardigan top set, and I love the way this pairs with that. It looks so stunning. I think in the summer with a raffia bag, it looks beautiful. Just to add a little bit of polish, a little bit of elegance to a very casual laid back look, but equally in the autumn winter with a leather Favette bag, looks beautiful as well. Now obviously if you have the Adele bag like me, you're going to probably want to get the matching Adele belt, but if you have the rosy bag from Favette instead, they do also do a rosy belt. They have a few other designs as well, some really interesting and beautifully detailed belts that are hard to find anywhere else, to be honest. They have a really gorgeous kind of gold one with a little bit more gold detail on it. I'll show you on screen, which I think would be gorgeous with a summer dress, especially for a special occasion or an evening event. But yeah, if you're just going to go with one, go with a staple design, go with a color that is going to match a lot of your outfits and your other leather accessories. I went with the brown because I do tend to lean towards brown over black when it comes to my neutrals, and I feel like this is going to pair really well with a lot of my leather shoes and leather bags. Now I do have a discount code that works on all Favette items, including their belts and all of their accessories. So if you already have a bag, maybe you want to add a belt to your collection, or if you're looking to start out with the brand, as I said, a belt might be a really good place to start. In at number 2 is an accessory which I feel is a little bit trendy at the moment, but French women have been wearing for generations, hence the name, and it is the French pin. I feel like I don't talk very much about hair on this channel because I don't do too many extravagant hairstyles. I tend to just wear my hair down, but if I do want to wear my hair up, I find that wearing like a scrunchie or just a classic hair tie isn't very elevated. It's not very chic, and so something like a French pin could really elevate and updo for me. I'm very interested in getting one myself. It's not something I own quite yet, but it's one I'm looking for recommendations for if you have any. I think it has that really effortless French girl vibe to it. You can kind of just nonchalantly put your hair up, stick the pin in, and you're good to go. And it kind of creates that style that feels a little bit undone, a little bit messy, but intentional still, which I think is the epitome of French girl style. I have seen a couple that I really like on Louise Damas. So if you're looking for a French pin, maybe start there. They're gold plated. I think they have silver plated ones as well. Cézanne also has one, I believe, but let me know if you have any other brand recommendations. I love the tortoiseshell ones as well. I think those would look particularly good in blonde hair though. I always feel like tortoiseshell works really beautifully with blonde hair because it really stands out. But yes, let me know. Also vintage. I feel like vintage could be a good way to go for a hairpin. In at number 3 for your accessories capsule, if you really want to encapsulate that French girl Parisian vibe, has got to be a basket bag. It's got to be a market bag of some description, something very casual, something very laid back, something that's maybe a little bit rough around the edges, something that's worn in and has been worn with love over many years. Again, you can get these really cheaply at European markets, or you can get a really fancy one from the likes of Cézanne. I love my Maya basket for that reason from Cézanne, because it has a little bit more of a laid back look compared to the Justine from Cézanne, but either works beautifully. I think something with that raffia texture. I think the key to raffia with French girl style is to wear it all year around. Most people save their raffia for the summertime exclusively. However, I do think French girls, Parisian women, are very good at wearing their raffia and styling it all year around. I've definitely seen pictures of Jeanne Damas, for example, wearing her raffia bags with a big winter coat and leather boots, and I think it looks really cool, and I think it has that effortless kind of nonchalant French girl vibe to it. So I would encourage you, if you already have this, to try and bring those pieces, those raffia items, into autumn winter and style them up, if you don't already, in the colder seasons, to get even more of that French girl look. In at number 4, I have charms, and particularly vintage charms. I feel like I've been really getting into charms ever since I got my charm from Real Fine. Now this one isn't vintage, obviously, but I picked it up and I've been absolutely loving wearing this on a few different necklaces. Actually, I switch it out. I put it on like a simple fine chain. I've put it on my Omega chain, and I have it today on my little Rolo chain with the lobster clasp. And I just think charms are a very kind of Parisian way of wearing jewelry as well, particularly if you can find them vintage. I feel like there are so many gorgeous solid gold charms at reasonable prices. Places like eBay and Etsy and Instagram jewelry sellers, definitely check those out for some solid gold charms, and you can build them up over time. You can collect them over time and create really interesting charm stacks, whether that's on a necklace, on a bracelet, whatever it might be. I feel like they have that versatility as well, that you can switch them out, you can change up your look, you can change up your charms or what necklace you're wearing them on, what bracelet you're wearing them on, and it has that curated but collected over a long period of time vibe, which again speaks to the Parisian way of life, the Parisian way, that slow kind of fashion way of styling. Another item on the list that I think you should source vintage are brooches. Brooches are also another item that are having a little bit of a moment currently, but I feel like French women have always been known for the brooch, whether that's on a jacket, a shirt, a bag, a belt, a scarf even. I feel like a lot of the time when they're wearing those little silk scarves, they might put a brooch on it as well. It's very chic, and again, you can find some really fun and interesting and high quality ones for pennies on the vintage market. So definitely have a look, whether that's a local in-person vintage market or vintage seller. Etsy, eBay, Instagram are all great places to search for things like this, and you can get some really unique ones, one-of-a-kind brooches that will really elevate just a simple tee and jeans outfit. I feel like it's those little details that French women don't miss, and it's the reason they look so put together but so effortless at the same time. In at number 6, I want to talk all about hats. I feel like French women aren't afraid of hats. I am quite afraid of hats because I feel like they're a little bit more of a statement item when it comes to your outfit, but I feel like Parisian women, French women always pull them off so fantastically, whether that's just a classic raffia hat. Lack of Colour is my favourite brand for hats. If you're interested, if you're on the market, they do some really beautiful raffia hats. I've also been seeing a lot of the pillbox hats recently. They're definitely making a comeback. They feel very Parisian in quite a retro 50s way. I think you have to be able to pull them off. I feel like not everyone can. I don't think I could. But if you have that quite retro vibe, think like 50s polka dots, dresses, florals, maybe a pillbox hat might be up your street. In at number 7, I want to talk all about beaded and cord necklaces, basically necklaces made of alternative materials, resins as well. I feel like these are very chic, especially in the summertime when we are currently. My favorite beaded necklaces come from Real Fine Studio. They have these stunning, thick, chunky beaded necklaces with the lobster clasp, so you can play into that charm vibe, that charm look that we talked about earlier by adding lots of your vintage charms onto your beaded necklaces and getting a double whammy of these accessory trends. I particularly love the two-tone ones they do where they have like 50% pink, 50% red. I think that asymmetrical look is so cool, so different, so unique, but they have some really beautiful monochrome ones as well. And when we talk about cord necklaces, these are having a moment currently, but I do feel like they have that very effortless laid back vibe. Louise Damas, one of my favorite French jewelry brands, do a lot of these as well. They have some chocolate brown corded necklaces with small gold details. You can wear them long or you can wear them short as a choker or anywhere in between because they're cord, so you can just tie them at the length you want, which makes them really versatile and really fun to play around with. You can even tie them as bracelets or anklets for something a little bit different. So I would definitely look into alternative necklaces. You can get these for relatively inexpensive prices and they can really add a statement vibe to your look. For the final 2 accessories, I want to talk about bags. So we've talked about the Raffia bag. Obviously, the leather bag is a French girl staple, but also there are a couple of brands making some really fun bags that I really wanted to highlight to you. One is a French brand called Call It By Your Name. They have some really fun embroidered kind of bandana print bags. These are great for travel. I always think when I see Parisian women traveling, they do it in style. And it doesn't mean they have garish branded luggage like Louis Vuitton bags, or although, you know, that obviously is a French brand, but they don't normally go for those heavily logoed travel bags or suitcases. It's usually stuff that's much more personal, much more understated, much more laid back, very cool girl vibes. And I love Call It By Your Name for that. I definitely want to get a travel bag from them soon in this fun bandana print. The more colorful, the better, I think. So that's one brand. And then the final accessory are beaded bags, particularly wooden beaded bags or resin beaded bags. Anything where you're playing with texture really adds so much to a look. Parisian style, French style is so often quite simple on the base. It is quite often a white tee and jeans, or a white tee with a shirt over the top and jeans, or a nice knit and jeans. They love their denim. I feel like adding texture through your accessories is how they elevate so many of their looks. And I think a wooden beaded bag in the summer or a resin beaded bag in the evening is such a fun and unique way to do that. I noticed one of my favorite accessory brands, who aren't French, they're New York based, but they make very French girl inspired bags, is Bembian, and they are doing some wooden beaded bags at the moment, which are so gorgeous. They are stunning, and I think they add so much personality to a look, which again I think is key for that Parisian style, making it unique to you, making it slightly different in a subtle, understated way is how you're going to achieve that laid back look. That is it. That is my list of 10 accessories you need in your toolkit if you want to achieve that effortless French girl style. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if there's any you think I missed off this list. I would love to hear from you as always. Any items that I've shown on screen today or mentioned in passing will be linked down below. If I have any discount codes as well, I will also pop those in the description box. I know I have one for Favette, but if I have any for the other brands, I will pop them in the description box so you can utilize those. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.